Hello everyone, my name is Kim Smith and this is Kaisa Hageman and we are from the Benefits Department for the Sioux City School District. Today we're going to talk about our overview for the insurance open enrollment process for our upcoming calendar year. Today we'll kind of walk through how we get to where we do, and the insurance committee process. We'll do an overview of our plans that we offer. We'll walk through our open enrollment website and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So let's go ahead and dive on in. For those that may not be aware, we do have a district insurance committee. They meet 3 times a year, usually in October, January, and March. And the goal of that committee is to basically review our current benefit offerings and then make recommendations to the school board of what we want to offer in the upcoming years. So with that process, usually in January is when we receive our renewal rates from our vendors. This year, the medical plan came in at a 10.7% increase, which is just below the industry average of 10.8. So some of those things that go into that number would be our plan utilization. So what that means is what types of claims drive our costs for our districts. For us, that means back pain, diabetes management, as well as prescription costs. The committee also takes a look at our plan design. So what types of plans do we offer our employees? So for the upcoming plan year, that would be the value plan as well as our new high deductible health plan. And of course, we look at premium costs. So I know that 10.7% does sound high. Nobody likes to have insurance increases. I'm the same way. However, things that we can do as employees to try to keep that number down would be to make sure that we're putting our health first as employees. Are you going to your annual checkups every year? For women, that means getting your pap smears and your mammograms as well as your annual checkup and screening. For men, that means getting your prostate exam as well as your annual checkup. Are we getting our colonoscopies done on a yearly basis as well as flu shots? Other things that you can do as an employee is to participate in our biometric screen every year. Use generics whenever possible, as well as take a look at virtual visits if that's not something that you've participated in the past. It's a way to lower the cost of those claims that come through. One of the biggest issues or comments and concerns that we get from employees is the cost of family coverage, and we understand that is expensive, but just know that because we have so much plan utilization or employees and members that are using the plan, the more claims that go through, the more insurance company has to pay out. And with the increase of healthcare costs across the board, this costs are going up and up. And so then insurance companies basically push that increased cost back over to employees on the premium side. So I know it's not great, but unfortunately that's the reality of the insurance industry. So do the best you can when it comes to your wellness. Try to put yourself first and take care of you, and that will help our district as a whole. Some of the other things that we'd like to take a look at will be our new plans for the 2021 fiscal year. So let's start talking about the high deductible health plan. It's kind of our big exciting news for the year. A high deductible health plan works a little bit differently, and you kind of have to switch your mode of thinking when it comes to insurance. When it comes to that, all costs that you incur are actually paid by the member first. So that means when you go for those cough, colds, sinus infections, that kind of thing, you will have to pay for that visit out of pocket first before the insurance company would kick in. That deductible and out of pocket max is both $3,500. And then once you reach that deductible and out of pocket max, then insurance will start paying in. So on average for a normal visit, for an office visit for a sinus infection is right about $120. And then if you would be given any prescription costs, generic drugs are right about that $25 to $26 mark, give or take. So that'll kind of put that into perspective. There is a link out on the website that does have a cost analysis of average office visits. So I encourage you to take a look at that. And I'll show you where that is a little bit later in the video. Another thing that you can do is also take a look at your myuhc.com account, and you can see your explanation of benefits out there for both office visits as well as prescription costs. You can see how much the insurance company was billed, how much they paid, how much you paid, and what the total cost was. So I highly recommend taking a look at that, and that'll give you a better idea of what those costs kind of look like on a day-to-day basis. The high deductible health plan is a really good opportunity for people to take a look at if they rarely go to the doctor. So those people are going to save the money in monthly premium costs because they're not using the plan. And at the same time, on the opposite end of the spectrum, those employees that are using the plan a lot, they will be able to max out on their OPM much faster in the year, which then allows the insurance company to start kicking in and paying those claims faster as well. And they will also be able to save on those monthly premium costs. Now, the goal of that is to hopefully save that difference and put it into what's called a pre-tax savings account known as an HSA or a health savings account. HSAs are really great benefits with high deductible health plans. They allow you to put money in pre-tax, and then you can use those claims to offset the cost of any insurance visits, or office visits that you have throughout the year, as well as prescription costs. You can use it for dental costs and vision costs. You can roll those dollars every year, so don't worry about losing those funds. And then you can also use them to offset any costs you may have during retirement. The other plan, our value plan, is considered a traditional health plan, or one with copays. So when you still go to the doctor, you'll have that $25 copay if it's a regular office visit, versus specialist will be at $40. And then you also have that same tiered copay approach when it comes to prescription drugs. This plan is really good for people who don't like a lot of risk, who want to know exactly what they're going to pay every time they go to the doctor, unless they're having a procedure done. Then those would still be subject to the regular deductible, which on this plan is $1,500, and then subject to the regular out-of-pocket max. That information, or an at-a-glance view, can be found in your packet on the health comparison form, and that looks something similar to this. It's one with the yellow and the green lines on it. So take a look at that, and you can see the difference between the two plans. Let's take a look here to see if I've hit all of my big ticket items here. When it comes to that traditional value plan, you can enroll in what's called a flexible spending account as well. That type of an account has a few more restrictions put onto it per the IRS. Those funds do not roll from year to year. Those funds do have to be used by the end of our plan year, which is June 30, but it can also be used to offset the cost of medical expenses, dental and vision that you may have throughout the year. And more information about that is also on the open enrollment website. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the open enrollment website. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Bear with me here. Okay. So the open enrollment website has a lot of really great information. That website address is www.siouxcityschools.org/open enrollment. And of course, at the top, it'll see our Zoom meeting. So we do have another one scheduled for tomorrow at 4 p.m. On the top side, you'll see on the left, we're looking at the medical plan information. So all of our medical summaries will be out there. There's some frequently asked questions. That health comparison sheet, which I talked about with the yellow and the green lines on it, that's an at-a-glance view. Under the high deductible health section, you'll see how much will it cost to see a doctor. I'm going to click on that link. And that will give you some itemized approaches of what regular office visits may look like in our area. So make sure to take a look at that if you're contemplating that high deductible health plan. I'm going to head back here. More information can be found on health savings account. There's a couple great videos out here as well, which I'll talk about in a second. Then there's our dental summary, our vision summary. For those that would like to contribute to that flexible spending account, that form can be found here. And then some additional information on LDT and wellness. For those that may have lost their premium rate sheet or just need to have another look, all of our premium rate sheets are located out there. Just note that the cafeteria cash amount for each group may be different, so make sure that you're looking on your right employee group as well as benefit status. So I'm just going to take a look at that real quick. We'll take a look at teachers, since that's one of our largest groups, and just kind of do a walkthrough here of the different things to note on this form. So at the top here, it obviously will say your employee group. In the middle here, it'll say how much the district is providing your group to offset the cost of your insurance coverage. This group gets $1,275 minus the dental premium, the life premium, and the lowest cost medical plan option, which would be the high deductible health plan. Then they have a cafeteria cash balance remaining. For all groups, that cafeteria cash amount will be different, but just make sure that you realize that amount will go back into your paycheck as a taxable earnings. Then as you scroll down, you'll be able to see the different types of premium rates for each plan type. You'll see medical, dental, the basic life insurance, supplemental life insurance, vision, long-term disability, and then of course there's just a reminder there about flex. Okay, I'm gonna head back here. Then I'm gonna scroll back up, and on the right-hand side here, we have some really great videos. On the top is, of course, the open enrollment video that went out last week. So if you didn't get a chance, please make sure to take a look at that. Below that is a high deductible health plan overview video that just is a really great video that breaks down the differences of what the high deductible means. So take a look at that one. Then lastly, here we have a video on the difference between a health savings account versus a flexible savings account. That's a really awesome video that truly breaks down the difference between the two plans. So now we're going to go ahead and then open it up for questions. And I'm going to have Kaisa go ahead and read the questions and then we'll answer it together. So Kaisa, do you want to start?
Sure. Our first question that came in was that a new list of over-the-counter medications has been sent out. If these are purchased with my flexible spending account, do we use our Benny card or send in receipts?
Sure. So recently, the flexible spending account list did get expanded due to COVID-19. That now includes menstrual supplies as well as some over-the-counter cough and cold, flu medications, allergy medications are now included with that. However, the vendor has to basically rework their inventory system to now code those products as FSA eligible. So when you use your Benny card, it may get declined or it may work. I would definitely try to use it first and see if it goes through. And if it doesn't, pay for it out of pocket, then you can submit that receipt back to one-to-one benefits for reimbursement. I would say as time goes on, it should be easier and easier to use that Benny card on those products.
All right, our next question was, is there a way to see what a specific cost for a physical therapy appointment will be on the value plan?
Sure, so on the health plan comparison form, which is the one with the yellow and the green lines on, you will be able to see under the copay section for specialists, the value plan, that will remain at a $40 copay for the value plan. If a person is looking at the cost on the high deductible health plan, that would be the full out-of-pocket amount that that company charges. So again, you would have to contact your vendor to see how much that they would basically charge for that, or you could go back to the myuhc.com website, or the app is Health with the number 4, Meet, M-E, and take a look at your EOB, and you'd also be able to see how much they've been billing you for those visits.
Okay, can money left in a flexible spending account this year be rolled over until next year's health spending account if elected?
Unfortunately not. They are considered two different accounts with different vendors. So money in an FSA account, which is that flexible spending account, and that money is monitored through one-to-one benefits, must be used or losed by June 30. Now there is a 90-day gap period in there that you can still submit receipts, but those receipts have to be prior to June 30. Then effective July 1, you can start contributing to that health savings account through a bank of your choice.
If I choose the HSA with dental and eye, how much cafeteria cash can I expect to receive a month so that I can invest in my HSA?
Okay, so that information again is going to be located on the sheet with the black and red. So each amount is going to be different per employee group. And if you look kind of in that top third section, that's where that cafeteria cash amount will be located. And you would be recommended to put that money in toward your HSA. So awesome question.
How do you work with a bank to sign up for an HSA?
Okay, so each bank is a little bit different. Some vendors will offer HSAs and some don't. I know Wells Fargo currently is not offering those. They have gone to a third party, but Security National Bank is a big one in town, and we will also list a common HSA provider list on our website here shortly for you to take a look at. Now with COVID-19, things have changed a little bit with bank lobby policies. So you'll need to call first to get an appointment with them and see how they want to handle basically in-person appointments, but they will be able to help you with that.
If I have a medical expense above the balance of my HSA, may I take the money out of my HSA later to reimburse myself?
Okay, awesome question. So yes, the answer is that. So an example of that would be, let's say I start with my HSA contributions in July and I put $100 in every month. And then by December, I'll have $600 in that account. Well, let's say I get into a car accident and I have to go to the doctor and that bill is now $1,200. I can take $600 out of my HSA. I will have to pay for the remainder, $600 out of my own pocket, but once you keep accruing funds into that HSA, you can pull those dollars back out to help reimburse yourself down the road.
Okay. If I have already paid all of the max out of pocket for the value plan for this year and changed to the high deductible plan, will that then carry over for the rest of the calendar year and be covered since the amount is the same?
Okay, awesome question. So for those that have already paid into their current plan, whether it's the deductible or the out-of-pocket max, those will be given credit to the new plan that you choose to elect. And then just remember, every January 1st, those deductibles reset.
If doing the high deductible health plan, do we fill out the FSA and HSA sheets or just HSA? Also, do we need to make our appointment to set up our HSA account after July 1st?
Okay, great question. So those that elect the high deductible health plan only need to complete the HSA or health savings account form. The only exception to that would be if that person also wants to do dependent daycare flex, which you can do, but you'd have to fill out the flexible spending account for dependent care. That would be if you have daycare costs or after school care costs like Beyond the Bell. Once that gets back up and running, you can definitely do that. You don't have to wait until after July 1st to set up your appointment to get an account open. It will be that we won't start contributions to that HSA until after July 1.
Is the health insurance plan January to December or July 1 until June 30th?
That's an awesome question, one I get all the time. So we are in a unique situation being a school. We actually go off of a plan year of July 1st through June 31st June 30 for our premiums. So every July 1st, you'll see an increase to your premiums or a change to your premiums. Now the rest of the world, they go off of a calendar year. So that's why deductibles always reset every January 1.
May retirees participate in the HSA?
Okay, so an HSA is considered pre-tax contributions that are normally done through payroll deductions. Now retirees, since they are no longer actively working, they don't have a way for us to take those deductions out of a paycheck. So you want to contact a personal banker through one of your local establishments and talk to them. There may be a possibility to still contribute to an HSA, and then you can claim that amount on your taxes at the end of the year. But that would need to be done through a tax advisor as well as your bank.
I have additional insurance through my husband's employer. If I select the high deductible plan, will his insurance cover my expenses?
Okay, that's a really awesome question, and a prime example of that would be myself. So I will choose the high deductible health plan, but my husband is also military, so I have TRICARE. So you will need to look at what's called a coordination of benefits of that other policy. So you would have to contact their human resources department to get more information. Each policy has different language on how they accept high deductible health plans, so make sure to verify that first before you elect that plan.
I am having difficulty finding a bank for an HSA. Do you have any suggestions?
Sure. So like I said, I know Security National Bank in town does offer HSAs, and we'll put some more information out on our open enrollment website once we have a good list for you.
Where do I look on the MyUHC website to see if I've met my deductible?
Okay, so once you log into the myuhc.com website, you'll have to scroll down just a little bit, and there will actually be some infographics there that'll look like dials, and it'll give you an idea of where you're at with your current deductible as well as out-of-pocket maximum. You can also look, if you click in the blue bar at the top, for claims and benefits, and then it'll give you each claim that you've had through the current plan year itemized out.
Do you have to put the max of $3,500 into the HSA a year?
No, you don't actually. You can elect however much you want to up to that $3,500 cap. And you actually have flexibility to change that throughout the year. Unlike a flexible spending account, whatever amount you decide to do at the beginning of the plan, you're basically stuck with unless you have a major qualifying event. And those usually come pretty far in between. So the nice thing, again, it's another kind of selling point with the high deductible health plan, that flexible spending accounts do have a lot more wiggle room when it comes to making choices about your medical care.
If I decline a policy, what is the last day that I will be covered?
Okay, so a lot of times we see that people like to kind of switch back and forth in their vision plan. So this will be a prime example that if you choose to decline a policy, the last day you will be actively covered will be June 30. And I think that answers all of our questions. If you have any more, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Kaisa. Just as a reminder, benefit forms can be either sent from your school building to us through school mail. You can drop your form off in the vestibule area down outside of the ESC, or you can send us your form in the postal mail. Forms need to be returned back to us by 5/29. We will also have another Zoom meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m., so make sure to tell your friends. If you have any questions, reach out, and then stay safe, guys. It's nice to see everybody.